Okay, so us actually talking about Bonnie Blue kind of leads very well into what I wanted to speak to you about next. So I was actually having a conversation with a friend, right? And we were talking about like sexual liberation and just women and just being women and trying to like navigate and whatever in the world. And she made a really good point to me. And she was basically saying that she thinks why a lot of black women especially aren't necessarily sexually liberated and as open in sex is because of like culture and religion and things like that, and that kind of always stays with you, and then there's almost like a shame attached to the conversation of sex and just sex in general. And I thought it was really interesting, and I wanted to know like what you thought about that, because it was basically the point that I was trying to make was that obviously as women, naturally we're adult women, we have urges.
Yeah.
You want to have sex, blah, blah, blah. But a lot of women and a lot of friends and women that I've spoken to have said that they feel like when they want to like settle down and they decide, right, you know, I want to get married, I want to have kids, I want to find a partner, whatever. A lot of them do this thing where they stop having sex because they almost feel like, and they've not necessarily said it to me, but I always take it as like, why should you, as a woman, you have urges, you should be able to be like, do you know what, if you want to have sex with someone, do it.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of women think that they need to almost stop doing that so that they're in this kind of pure mindset or in this clear mindset and headspace to meet someone. I hope that makes sense what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no, it does make sense.
Because a lot of the time, like I've spoken to so many people that will be like, oh yeah, do you know what, before I met my boyfriend, like I was just over men and I just stopped having sex for a year. And that's obviously a personal thing to you, of course. But I think some women do too. They're just like, do you know, I want to be celibate because for me, like, but I think it needs to be for you. I don't think celibacy or anything should be because you're like, oh, I'm gonna just not do this so that when I meet a man, it's like, I've not slept with so many men, or I've not done this, or I've... Do you get what I mean? Do you get the point that I'm trying to make? I hope that makes sense to you guys as well, what I'm trying to say. But yeah, I just wanted to know, like, what your opinion is on that. Because when my friend said she thinks it's rooted in, you know, like, religion and just cultural shame and just the way that we're taught to be so quiet and so, like... Yeah, just like, don't have sex, don't do this, and then you get to a certain age, it's like, where's your husband, where's your children, where's your what? And it's like...
But no one guided me to get that.
Yeah. Or like how a lot of women just think like, oh yeah, I'm just going to not have sex, or I'm not going to sleep with that many men, so when I do meet my husband, it's like, I've only slept with 5 men, so that way he sees me a lot more. Like, it's just like, we're just taught to be so quiet sexually as women. And even with the whole thing with like Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion, a lot of men would say that, oh, why do they have to talk about sex? Like, we're women and we like to have sex, what's wrong with that?
Yeah.
I always say like, I'm a woman that likes to have sex. Yeah. Well, there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, so I just wanted to know like what your opinion on that is.
It's actually a very interesting topic because I definitely agree that it definitely stems from religious and cultural backgrounds. Because depending on the family, if you grew up with a sexually liberated family, you're not going to care about that.
Yeah.
So I definitely do think that there's a part, that's probably the main part, that the main reason why. I also feel like as women compared to men, mentally we're not the same.
Yeah.
So on average, I'm not saying every woman, but generally, when we have sex with a man, we tend to get a bit more attached than an average man. So I feel like a lot of the times there's women who are out there, even if they're not doing it for themselves, they're in a way they are, but it's more like, if I continue to sleep with different men, I'm going to be distracted and I can't have eyes for my husband because I'm so distracted with other men.
Oh my gosh.
That's like, so I feel like...
That's exactly what I was trying to get across.
Yeah, like, so I personally feel that. But I feel like there's so many factors, but I just feel like, society in general, it's like, even the saying, oh, a lady in the streets and a freak in the sheets, like, it's supposed to be private. Like, that's something that a woman is supposed to do with someone who she's deeply in love with and all of that. And like, if she's not in love with him or doesn't even like him like that, she's a whore type thing. So I definitely think that that plays a role. And like we mentioned earlier, with Black women, the world having higher standards for us, that we can't let anything slip. So even that pressure of like, people are already expecting bad of us. I don't want to keep giving them an excuse type thing. But yeah, I definitely do think that it's sad. Like, if there's women out there who want a very active sex life, whether they're in love with that man or not, it's up to them to do that. Like, they shouldn't be ashamed for it. They're just living their life. Yeah. Like I always say, you're not killing anyone.
Yeah.
And this is something that will only affect you. So the fact that other people care I still can't wrap my head around it.
Yeah.
But like, for me personally, I am definitely that type of person who's like, I will stay celibate. Because number one, naturally, I'm just a relationship girl.
Yeah.
Or like, I always want more. It's just not in my personality I wish I was, but it's just not in my personality to just be like, I could have sex with this guy today and not think about him tomorrow. Trust me, I wish I was like that, but I've just had to accept, like, I'm not like that.
Yeah.
So for me, it works for me to not have sex with different men because I will catch feelings.
Yeah.
I'm that type of person. And catching feelings from the wrong person will definitely distract you from finding your right person.
Yeah.
Because you're so focused here, but you're not looking here.
Yeah.
So that's just for me personally. But I also can admit that it's definitely stemmed in my religious background and my cultural background. Like, especially being African, it's very taboo to talk about sex and stuff with your children.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like because of that as well, I'm not, yes, when I'm like with my girls and that, I'm very open about sex and stuff.
Yeah.
But like, in general, like in public, I'm not that type of person.
Yeah.
To just be like, yeah, sex, this and that. Like, I still have that little
shyness.
Yeah, like, almost like a bit of shame.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, I don't want to come across like a hoe.
Yeah.
But like you said, I think our upbringings is what made us like this, or made me like this. And I acknowledge that, but I'm also okay with that.
Yeah.
Like, I feel for the people who are like, they can't do it, but they want to do it.
Yeah.
I feel for you. Like, those people, you should actually do what you want to do. But like, for people like me, it works better for me if I just have one guy at a time.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
And knowing myself, I can't distract myself. So in order to minimize that distraction, I will be celibate.
Yeah.
Because and the thing is, it helps so much with clarity in general. Like, people don't truly understand how much sex in general blinds our judgments overall in everything. Like, it really does. It's only when I went on my celibate journey, obviously the first time you're like, oh my God, you're low-key itching for it. But like, after a while, you actually start to realize, wow, I'm getting way more done. I actually have time for other people in my life.
Yeah.
Or like, you start to see things and you're like, fam, it's so easy to do now.
Yeah.
Whereas like before, I was so distracted. But again, it depends on the individual.
Yeah.
But that's my take on it, really.
Yeah. Oh, you made valid points there.
Mm.
Yeah, I think it needs to be something that you do for you.
Yeah.
I've just seen quite a few people, like, I think some women...
There's a lot of pick-me's.
If I hold back on this... I just think with finding a husband, as I'm getting older, and I'm in my 30s now, and I've seen a lot of life in my 20s dating, I just think it's timing. You will speak to so many different people about how they met their partner. Everybody will have a different story.
Yeah.
I have friends that were in the thick of situationships, met their partners. I've had friends that started off with casual sex that ended up becoming their partner.
Yeah.
I have friends that were seeing 3 different guys at the same time, and then one turned out to be the best one, so she ended up with that person. I think it just happens when it happens.
Yeah.
But I think this mentality of I need to almost hold back.
To get a certain result.
Result, I just don't think it works.
100%.
So I think if you're going to go on like a journey of celibacy, because I've done it, I've gone... I think the longest I did celibacy was 2 years or 3 years. almost 3 years, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
But in that time, it was just for me. I was and to be honest, girls, I didn't meet anybody in that time. So if anybody thinks like, oh, if I just go that long without having sex or whatever, I'm gonna meet someone, it's gonna be like, I didn't meet anybody in that time. I can tell you that. And I was going for 2 years. I didn't meet anyone. And I just think, I think it's everybody's sexual journey is their own.
Yeah.
I always have a lot of respect for people that are very liberated sexually, can speak so openly about sex.
Mm-hmm.
Like people like Oloni. I really rate Oloni because I think how she just created a platform for women to just be sexually open and speak. I'm here for it.
But
I'm
even
respecting her so much.
With Oloni as well, it's weird because she's also classy with it to me.
Yeah, it's
like
not
she still gives off
exactly.
It doesn't give off trashy.
No.
Do you get what I mean? It just gives off like, yeah, we're all grown.
Yeah,
we're here to talk.
We're grown.
Yeah, like it doesn't give off like sleazy.
Yeah.
Or like, oh my god, all she does. Nah, it gives off like, that's the thing. I think, like you said, because with Oloni, the head of it all is the female empowerment.
Yeah.
Like you can literally feel, you don't even have to go on one website of hers.
Yeah.
You will see one video and it just oozes it.
Yeah.
So I think that's what it is. So now it just ends up looking like, oh, she's just a normal woman who just likes that. Like
literally.
I've never looked at her and thought, whore. Never. Like, so it's very much possible. Like she's shown us, but again, it's just getting out of our heads and getting out of that fear. But another thing I actually wanted to bring up, and you briefly talked about it, I also think that women hold themselves back because of not the way they're perceived in the world, but the way they're perceived with men. So like, you could be sexually liberated, and like you said, there's people who have met their husbands and they were fuck buddies, but that doesn't happen all the time.
Yeah.
So you could go in there thinking like, oh, let's just see how it goes, and then he's like, I'm not taking you serious. Or he does everything to show like you're not serious to him. And I think as well, people, that feeling must get old.
Yeah.
Of like, because imagine, let's say you slept with 5 guys within the year or something, or even 10, and imagine all 10 of them, they're not taking you serious. I think also there's women who gets to the point where it's like, I'm tired of not being taken serious. Yeah. So let me just refrain. Yeah. Get to know me, the personality, fall in love with me, the person, then that will come. So
but you see, that's exactly. Yeah, it's not for like to be looked at as this.
But then in a way though, because there's some pick-me's who will literally do it for men. Because a man doesn't take me serious when I'm sexually liberated, I'm going to refrain to be taken serious. So it does kind of depend on the person. Because it can be for you, but then it's also kind of for man. Yeah. Because if all of the men were reacting well to us being sexually liberated, this wouldn't be a conversation. Do you get what I mean? So, yeah, definitely. I definitely think religion, culture, men are the reason why we're like this.
Women, yeah, definitely agree. I think, I'm just such a everybody do what is right for them. And I do 100%. Think you almost need a period. You know, people always talk about hoe phases. So I used to listen to so many podcasts, and I'm someone that was not, I don't want to say not necessarily a sexually liberated person, but I had my own reasons for why I held back. I lost my virginity when I was like in my mid-20s. Like I was very just like in my own bubble of life. I wasn't into, and I remember listening to so many women speaking about you have to have a hoe phase to just explore and know yourself. And I'm thinking, no, I could never do that. I'm going to be someone that's going to marry the person that I lose my virginity to. Lord. No more. Anyway, but I'll probably say I'll say like sexually liberated when I was like in my late 20s, and I had like a good period of time where I just explored, I had fun, and I think it was so necessary to my growth and to the person that I am today. So I just think, but that's because I just did those things for me. I've never just been the person to be like, oh, just for a man to, that I need to blah blah. Yeah. I just think, it just has to be for you. But I think a lot of why I probably waited so long was very much rooted in that. Yeah. Shame, of course, cultural reasons, religion, and you just think, oh my gosh, I'm doing all this. Am I ever gonna get married because I'm just like sleeping with these men and blah blah. It will happen. Like, come on. Yeah, because at the end of the day, regardless of your number, there is someone out there for you. How many Love Islands have we watched, please? Every year when they ask body counts, there's girls who have 50 plus
and they win the show with a
Yeah,
man
I just even
who
think
loves
that
them. Like,
conversation is so stupid.
this is what I mean. Like, people, I honestly don't think people care the way they're portraying to be. And also, how would you actually know?
Yeah, that's another
How
thing.
will you actually know though? Because you could ask me and I could tell you 2, but in my head I know it's 10.
Yeah, exactly.
So how will you actually know? And the thing is, you could even meet one person who says, oh yeah, I slept with her, you know. Okay, that's one of the 2. Like, unless you're meeting tens of men who are telling you I've fucked her. But even that though, men lie. So without evidence, how would you actually know? You just have to trust whatever that person says. That's why it's a stupid question to begin with, because it's one of the few questions you will never fully know the truth.
Yeah.
You will never fully know. Even if you live with that person from the moment they're born till now, you will never fully know. Because once someone steps outside or steps away from you, you don't know what they're doing. So it's just such a unnecessary question to ask. Like, as long as you know that someone you know hasn't done anything with them, who cares?
It's just such a
who actually cares?
as well.
But then these will be the same men. They don't want you to have a big body count, but they want you to fuck like a porn star. Have all these techniques. Well. But how are you going to learn?
Throw it down. It's like, how
are you going to learn without the experience?
How am I going to know?
So what do you want? If you want the Virgin Mary, prepare for a plank, because she doesn't know anything, and rightfully so. So don't complain about that person's shit in bed. If she's had minimal bodies, you should expect her not to be the best in bed. Doesn't make any type of sense.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think for me personally, I'm just not that way. Like, I've definitely tried to have a whole face. I've really tried. And then that person will end up actually being my boyfriend. So then it's like, for fuck's sake.
Oh my God, it's not for the weak. Like,
It's not.
I've tried it, and I'm a very emotional person. I'm a lover girl to my absolute core. Mm-hmm. So I'll be thinking all sorts of it. It could be a casual situation. I'll be thinking like, this could be something. Like, I'll always be that person that will try to turn it into, and it's just like, it's not that. But as I've gotten older, I've actually realised to just keep things separate. Mm-hmm. Like, if this is what you're doing, just like keep it as that. Don't be doing all that. Let me message you. I'm not doing all that, because that's not what this situation is. Yeah. But it took me a long time, a lot of tears, a lot of heartbreak to get to that point.
Get there.
But right now, I would say I'm just in a phase of I'm chilling. I'm enjoying my life. I'm not necessarily.
Yeah. And that's another thing. Not forcing it.
Yeah. I just want peace.
Not forcing it. If it comes, yes. If you want to enjoy it, enjoy it. But like, I think that's another thing as well. Don't go out of your way to do, like, yes, I understand when you hear people say, yes, have a hoe phase, but don't go out of your way to have one.
Yeah,
if it comes to
you.
Yeah.
I think mine just found me. And I was like, you know what?
If it happens to find you, fam, it's up to you what you want to do. At the end of the day, as long as you're over 18, you're grown. So it's up to you what you want to do, but don't actively go out and look for it. That's where things start to go wrong.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But I think, like Rashida said, live your life. Once you become an adult, like, that's the beauty of being an adult. You get to do what you want when you want. And not every person's going to have the same mindset.
Yeah.
And that's fine. But I think where we both agree is just shaming people whether they do or don't.
Yeah.
We don't agree with. Just do what you want to do for your individual self. Whatever works for you, works for you.
Yeah.
There's no wrong answer.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
There's no wrong answer.
There's no wrong answer at all.
It's your life. Do what you want to do, but make sure that you always do it for you. Mm-hmm. That's the best advice that I can give. It always has to be what's right for you at that time.
Exactly. And one thing my dad always used to tell me, true freedom is no longer caring about what other people have to say about you.
Yeah.
Once you get over that, you'll be able to live your life to the fullest.
Honestly.
What holds us back is the fear of other people talking about us.
Yeah.
Once you get over that, fam, even all of this wouldn't be a topic. Do you get what I mean?
It wouldn't be a topic. It would just be us.
It would just be us. Yeah,
like to report that we've done it. Like,
exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
It will be a report rather than thing, but
it wouldn't be a discussion. But yeah, it was just it's such an interesting topic.